Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into the Indianapolis Colts preseason performance against the Cincinnati Bengals. I'm sorry for the slight delay in getting this video to you, but tomorrow I'll have a more detailed breakdown. For now, I want to share my initial thoughts, especially since I only had the chance to watch Anthony Richardson's full drive. First off, let's talk about that opening drive. The Colts put together a solid touchdown drive, with Richardson connecting with Alec Pierce for his first NFL touchdown. That was a huge positive. We also saw Pittman involved in the RPO, and Jonathan Taylor got a few carries. The offense was moving the ball smoothly, even though they were up against the Bengals' second-string defense. It's important not to overreact. Had they gone three and out, this would be a very different discussion. But seeing Richardson show his potential as a strong quarterback, especially after glimpses of it last season, gives us hope. He might just be the guy to lead us to a Super Bowl. Of course, it wasn't all perfect. There were missed throws, a pick six, and some sloppy ball handling that almost led to another turnover. There were mistakes and miscommunications, but I'm not too worried. If you listen to Shane Steichen and Richardson, they're confident these issues can be fixed. There's tape to review, and they're committed to improving. Let's not forget that the Colts aren't showing their full playbook yet. Last season, Steichen led the team to 9 wins with Gardner Minshew, who wasn't even on anyone's radar before the season started. They were a play away from winning the division, and if not for a few unlucky moments, we could have made the playoffs. We're close to getting there. Richardson is the youngest starting quarterback in the league right now. I heard some analysts on NBC Sports saying the Colts should have stuck with Minshew and let Richardson develop more slowly. Honestly, that take fired me up. The Colts need to play Richardson, and we as fans, along with the team, have to accept that he'll make mistakes. He's going to throw interceptions, fumble, and miss receivers. But that's part of the learning process for such a young QB. We've got to let him grow. So here's the thing. Anthony Richardson is actually younger than some of the top college quarterbacks coming into the draft, like Caleb Williams. These other guys have more experience and have played in more games, but Richardson is different. He barely played in high school, had limited college experience, and is just starting in the NFL. That's why he might seem more like a project or a raw prospect. And I'm okay with that. He's only 22. Just imagine what he could be like when he's 26, 27, or 28 years old. For this season, my goal for the Colts is to make the wild card. Winning the division would be great, of course, but if we can make the playoffs and finish with 10 wins, that's a solid season in my book, especially if Richardson continues to improve and stays healthy. A 10-7 record might not guarantee a playoff spot in the AFC, but if we can grab a wild card spot, I'd take that right now. The ceiling for this team could be 12-5 with a division win, which would be amazing. But the key is keeping Richardson and Jonathan Taylor healthy and getting better each week. I know this isn't a perfect roster, our secondary has its flaws, but I love our defensive front. It's elite, in my opinion. Our linebackers, led by Zaire Franklin and EJ Speed, are solid, and I think Shaquille Leonard is going to be a star. We've got talent, a rookie QB on a cheap contract, and plenty of cap space for free agency. There's a lot to be excited about as a Colts fan. That first drive was awesome, even though the rest of the game didn't go as well. I rewatched it, and there's no sugarcoating it. There were some rough moments. But hearing Shane Steichen and Richardson talk to the media gives me confidence. I'm not worried about this team. Looking ahead, our schedule kicks off with a game against the Houston Texans on Sunday, September 8th. That's just 2 weeks away. After that, we're on the road against the Green Bay Packers, then back home against the Chicago Bears and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Those are 3 teams that made the playoffs last year. I think the Bears are going to be solid this season, and every team we face in the first 4 weeks could potentially win 10 or more games. The Texans and Packers are my dark horse Super Bowl contenders, and while the Bears and Steelers might be more in the wild card mix, they both have elite defenses. We've got divisional games against Jacksonville and Tennessee on the road. And then we're at home against Miami, on the road against Houston, at Minnesota, and finally against Buffalo and the New York Jets. It's not the hardest schedule out there, but it's no cakewalk either. The Lions come up toward the end, and the back half of our schedule is going to be interesting. For me, here's how I see it. We've got winnable games against New England, Denver, Tennessee, the New York Giants, and the Jacksonville Jaguars. I genuinely believe there's a solid chance we could sweep both the Jags and the Titans this year. Now, I'm not saying it's guaranteed, but it's definitely possible. When it comes to the Lions, Bills, and Jets, we need to protect our home field. If we can go 2-1 in that stretch, I'd be thrilled. Whether it's beating the Bills and Lions at home and maybe losing to the Jets, or the other way around, getting 2 wins out of those 3 would be a win for us. In those first 4 games, protecting home field is crucial. We've got to beat the Texans, Bears, and Steelers. We can't afford to split those home games. We need to aim for a sweep. If we lose to Jacksonville on the road, which seems to happen every year, so be it. But then we need to bounce back, beat Tennessee, and take down Miami. If we happen to lose to the Texans later on, after beating them in Week 1, we'll need to make up for it by winning in Minnesota. Even though it's an away game, I don't see the Vikings having a great season, especially without their key players. Overall, I can see the Colts finishing the season at 12-5. Our floor, though, should be 9 wins. I think we'll win at least 9 games and could go up to 12 if things go our way. But that's just my take. I'd love to hear your thoughts, so if this video resonated with you, share it with your friends, leave a like, and subscribe. Honestly, there's not much more to add since I only caught the first couple of drives. I watched all of Anthony Richardson's drives and saw some of the defense, but I was hanging out with people, so I wasn't able to focus as much as usual. As someone who covers the Colts for you guys, I'll still break down what I saw. Tyler Goodson ran 13 times for 57 yards. Demetric Felton had 4 carries for 44 yards, and Laquan Treadwell made 2 catches for 33 yards. We didn't have a huge offensive explosion, though we did rush for 183 yards. Our passing game was quieter, with just 217 yards, but that's kind of what we should expect from the Colts. We're a run-first team, with Jonathan Taylor and Richardson leading the charge. We'll mix in RPOs and quick reads, but running the ball will be our bread and butter. So, trust the process. Feel free to jump in the comments. Whether you think Richardson's a bust or a future star, say your piece. Just don't delete your comment when he proves you wrong. Peace.